Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And welcome to another edition of 757 Saturday Sports Talk. We are streaming with you on CoVA Sports TV and all through the social media platforms throughout America. With the Coach Ed Young, I am Matthew Hatfield, and we welcome you all to this first program of June 2025, which is also now being watched through the great folks on replay at CoVA Sports, at Yurview and Cox Communications. It's always on CoVA Sports TV. Hit that like button, the share button, the subscribe buttons. But we're now also on the TV side of things, replaying Monday through Wednesdays. And I think it'll be continuing to evolve as we move along here in the summer months, Ed. But folks in the Hampton Roads, Northern Virginia, Fredericksburg, and Roanoke markets can watch the show. You'll see it streaming all the time on CoVA Sports TV. But they can check us out and getting the chance to integrate and mingle with the new audience. So how's your life been treating you here as we've turned the calendar from May, finished up Memorial Day, and moved into June?
First of all, good morning. I'll tell you what, I think May flew right by. Here we are into June. And, you know, it's neat. We're going to be on Yurview to all those people out in Northern Virginia, Fredericksburg, Roanoke. We're great that you're going to be watching us, and we hope that you keep watching us. Our show has been widely accepted down here in the Hampton Roads area. Sometimes they'll say, look at these two nut jobs. What are they trying to do? We're just trying to make it fun for you, entertaining for you, and also very informative without being overly boring or too statistical oriented. So get used to it. We'd love to hear from you too on how you think about the show and that, and really tune in, and we're going to try to talk sports. My partner here, Matt Hatfield, is tremendous on high school sports. He don't brag, he don't too humble, but he is the best expert on high school sports, especially football, basketball in the state of Virginia. I just try to add my 2 cents from a coaching perspective. For those who don't know, longtime high school coach, fortunate enough to be blessed with some great players, over 500 wins in my career. Took a year off this past year, but I am not retired from coaching. I'm still looking for an opportunity to get back in. I love it so much. So that's a little just about what we're trying to do here, and we're excited.
So any rec teams or AAU teams looking for a coach, Ed Young is available, ladies and gents.
I'd rather do the high school level, and but I'm always willing to help out anybody. I was telling somebody I got asked this week if I would speak at a camp, local little camp. I said I'm available for anybody who wants to speak at a camp. Show some skill stuff, whatever you need, I'm here for that. And like I said, I bring a lot of years of experience too, and I've been blessed with some really, really talented players, some great assistant coaches. So, and hopefully the good Lord will give me one more shot before he calls me to coach up there, because I don't want to coach down there because it's always summer season down there.
So you'll see it scrolling across our ticker throughout the morning on this 2-hour program, which you can catch hour 1 on Cox Communications and Yurview along with CoVA Sports TV, but we're also on Facebook, IG, Twitter, X, LinkedIn, you name it, VirginiaPreps.com too. and we will have some neat features for you, a couple of new features. We have conversations coming your way. We'll be joined by Michael Cuddyer, former Major League Baseball All-Star out of Great Bridge High School in Chesapeake. They've got coming up, Ed, the All-Tidewater Baseball Classic. It's not just for seniors, as Michael has educated me on that, but it's for the top players that get named All-Tidewater in high school baseball by the Virginian Pilots. So go check that out. It'll be a neat event coming up at War Memorial Stadium on June the 9th. The rosters are actually out for that event too. And we'll also be you'll get a chance to watch him on the TV side of things next week, but hear from him on the program on CoVA Sports TV in Hour 2. David Macklin, they got the Glory Days 4-on-4 Summer Days in Virginia Flag Football Tournament coming your way to Yorktown later on in the month of June. Before we hit our first timeout, we can say it's a TV timeout now. News has come out. I want to get your quick take before we hit the break on a judge granting the final approval to the House versus NCAA settlement that will allow schools to begin paying athletes directly. What's your take on this, as they will be cutting checks to athletes on July the 1st? NCAA is going to pay nearly $2.8 billion with a B, billion, not million, Mr. Young, in damages over the next 10 years to athletes who competed in college any time from 2016 to present day. Ooh, pick me. I did it. And the annual cap, by the way, moving forward for schools to pay its athletes up to a certain limit is expected to begin at roughly $20.5 million per year and increase each year during the decade-long deal. Payments are in addition to scholarships and other benefits the athletes already receive. I know you want to rant about this for minutes upon hours, upon days, upon weeks and months and years. But what's your quick flush reaction as you give it to us with your Aaron Judge Yankee shirt following a win over the hated rival Red Sox that you can talk about later on?
Here we are. We're going to throw some more money in the pot. We haven't even fixed the pot on the other issues with the NIL and the transfer portal. And this was coming, though. I saw this coming. You knew it was going to happen. And before it gets out there, I pray to God they put some kind of restriction, boundaries on it. I mean, just the idea of $2.x amount of billion dollars goes to show you how much money the NCAA has been making for years over the athletes. You and I are in agreement that kids need to be paid. We're also in agreement it needs to be structured somehow, contract signing. And this is going to open up another can of worms, which is already, I think, in the courts too, where athletes from years ago are going to say, wait a minute, what about us? How come we weren't paid? There's going to be more coming out of this. I just pray somehow they get this thing structured, put some boundaries on it, because it's so out of hand right now. And they're thinking all the ideas going to make the smaller teams, this little programs, still be able to compete with the big boys. I haven't seen it happen ever, and I'm not sure even this is going to do it. The small schools still cannot provide what the big schools can give out in terms of money for their athletes.
Listen, in a perfect ideal world, it would be nice for the small schools, the Old Dominions, the George Masons, the VCUs of the world, the William and Marys, and so on and so forth. Don't leave anybody out. Hampton, Norfolk State, fill in the blank, whatever school you could be talking about. It could be Grand Canyon. It could be UT, San Antonio, to have an equal playing field with the Michigans, the Alabamas, the Florida States. But we don't live in that world. So, unfortunately, those days are long gone. That ship has sailed, and now you're going to see more of the big boys continue to flourish. And from there, you shall see. The pool party's coming, Derek. If you're wondering, we will have some neat returns from the swim pool. As Derek Fulgham, one of our many loyal viewers, and we always encourage you to interact with us on our social media channels. You can chime in with anything you have in your brains today, in your mind, be it in the world of sports, locally, statewide, and beyond, as we try to hit all those scopes with you. We're going to take a quick time out, though, and come back with more, including a fight. No, not between Ed Young and me, that is off. That fight is still on, ladies and gents. We don't have a venue just yet or a date just yet. And we're still looking for a promoter for that fight. Maybe it'll be here on CoVA Sports TV. But a much-anticipated fight in Hampton Roads is off. And we'll hit on that when we return right here on 757 Sports Talk. You're watching CoVA Sports TV.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
They say man's best friend is a dog. So I asked my dog this question. What's 2 minus 2? And he told me nothing. Let's go back to 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here's Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young on CoVA Sports TV. He said nothing.
And we're back with you here on CoVA Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And wherever you are watching, interact with us. I encourage you to do so each and every Saturday. And now seeing it weekdays, as we said, on Yurview and Cox Communications at those channels that'll be scrolling across your ticker here momentarily. I'll tell you where you can find it in your market if you're watching in Hampton Roads, Fredericksburg, Northern Virginia, Roanoke, you name it. We're always available via Instagram, Facebook, all those different platforms as well. So we say good morning to the viewers and watchers out there and commenters. Would rather have been one of those. Ed, news that also is worth reporting on and discussing, highlighting. Keyshawn Davis, he won Olympic silver. He's undefeated as a boxer, I believe 13-0 or 14-0. Forgive me for not knowing his exact record, but the champion, the World Boxing Organization Championship that he won on February 14th. He had a fight last year in 2024 at the Norfolk Scope. Well, his homecoming, triumphant homecoming return, everybody was excited for it. It's going to be a packed house on the second Saturday, or so to say, the first Saturday of June 2025. It is off because the Norfolk native missed weight. Weigh-in on Friday. It was at the Waterside Marriott Hotel. Came in at 139.3. Wouldn't you and I love to be 139.3 pounds? We would love that. However, for boxers, that's not great when you're in the lightweight division like he is. Let's move up to the 140-pound division. And guess what? Because of that, he had the option to proceed and, lose the belt. They tried to work it out. Didn't happen. Bottom line is the fight is off. And I got to be honest with you, I don't love this. I think this is a bad look for Davis, who was a celebrated fighter, and for a lot of good reasons. And now, with this happening, you really wonder, can he come back here and have a fight here anytime soon? Does this hurt his reputation? What's next for him? I just think it's terrible. I mean, you have a responsibility. I know it seems like 4 pounds, big deal, but this doesn't do a whole lot for him. I think that the reputation for those that are in between, Top Rank Boxing can't love it. This is a rough day for the sport of boxing, which has had some rough days in recent years, and certainly this is not the heavyweight division. But your thoughts on this, because I don't love it. Now Abdullah Mason and Jeremiah Tequila, I'm sure I'm butchering those names, and I apologize about that. That becomes the main event. And look, Davis has been pretty brash. He's been pretty outspoken. So now I hate to say it this way, but you got to shut your mouth and take your medicine and not let this happen again, because you disappointed a lot of faithful in the 757.
I can only go by what I read, and it is disappointing. There's a big flavor flood for Davis in the area. Norfolk native. He's the next big thing for us in boxing. We had Sweet Pea Whitaker back in the day. We've had some Olympic boxers. How can you be overweight on weigh-in at 4 pounds? As you said, in boxing, that's a ton. That is a lot. And and I'm sure he was told, or he already knew, according to the WBO rules, if you're overweight on the day, you vacate your title. because somebody said, well, can't he just hurry up and lose the 4 pounds? No, the official weigh-in is the official weigh-in, because you can go over the weight once the official weigh-in is done. But at the weigh-in, you can't. You got to be where you got to be. So he wasn't. So he has to vacate the title. His comment that I read in the paper, because I never talked to anybody close to it, is, well, I wanted to move up anyways. Well, you don't do that on weigh-in day. You do that. You make that announcement way ahead of time, and you work towards that. Defend the belt at least. He never defended the belt. He gave it up. And then they were going to keep the bout being done, title bout, obviously, because it here's in Norfolk. Then the next thing we hear, nope, that bout's canceled. It's out. So now they're going to refund some people if they want their money back and still go on with it. His younger brothers are still fighting. They're very good boxers too. They're showing themselves to watch. They're not title holders, but I'm disappointed because, you know, he's ours. He's Norfolk. He's 757. So we wanted to see him defend that bout here at the Scope. You know, boxing always has that little tinge to it, a little dark cloud over it. To me, this is just emphasizing that again. Now it happens to be in the 757. That's all. And if somebody could elaborate in a more official manner to us, we'd welcome it, because I don't like opening my mouth about stuff that I don't really privy to or really know. I go by
before. What do you mean? I didn't stop you before.
No, I said what I don't know. When I get on, I know. Trust me, I know. And when it comes to boxing, I got my belt. I always make weight because I'm super heavyweight. They don't have a scale for me, so I ain't got to worry about making weight. And that's why when I get the chance to knock this dude out over here, he's over here, this dude out, boy, it's going to be champagne for everybody. Drinks on me. Hopefully we'll get it at the Scope. It'll be fantastic.
You're just so rude. And they gave him an hour to lose the weight. He chose not to. He was stripped of the belt anyways. And then they were trying to work it out to where they could pull it off. But ultimately, De Los Santos' camp didn't take the compensation figures that were thrown their direction. And they said, no mas, right? No more.
Hey, speaking of Kenneth Harris, Kenneth, I will.
There.
That's the Green Run coach. Kenneth, I will allow you to be the referee of this bout, because I know you want to throw some punches in there too. So we would let you do that. But, you know, think about it, people, in all seriousness. If they gave me an hour to lose 4 pounds, I can't lose 4 pounds in 4 years. How are you going to lose all that? I mean, he would have to be pretty much totally dehydrated of any type of food or liquid. He wouldn't be able to fight. So, but I just wish, and I have no problem with him, especially moving up in the weight. I just wish it was done early. Get this bout in, defend your title, then vacate it. Hey, I'm moving up. Okay, no problem. I just hope this doesn't hurt us in terms of getting some title defenses when one of these Davis boys wins the title, because they're going to. Them younger brothers, they're going to have some titles, so that we can get it back at the Scope and get it going. And that's all. It is disappointing because I want to see the young man do well.
Absolutely. And like you had mentioned, Ed, it is a chance for people to still go out and see as one of the featured fights, even though Keyshawn will not be fighting his brother Kelvin, junior welterweight fight coming up, and not here, Albright. They're going to square off. So, yeah, we wish for all the best, but it is a disappointing situation and circumstances nonetheless. We've got more coming your way here on CoVA Sports TV. And don't touch that dial, because we've got Michael Cuddyer, a conversation with the former Major League Baseball All-Star coming up. But our 5-minute burning topic is next. Oh, what's going to be burning on the minds of us today in the world of sports? It's all coming your way after a quick word of the sponsors to help make it possible for us to bring you 757 Sports Talk on CoVA Sports TV. And now through our friends and partners with Yurview and Cox Communications. Stay tuned.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis, but if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams-Deloitte, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today at 757-547-5555 so we can help you prepare in the case of an automobile accident or any other personal injury matter that you or your family may find yourself in.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why there's CHKD Sports Medicine. Advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, drink, and a sundae. No time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us. And the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
And now back to Matthew Hatfield and that evil basketball coach. Blast you, Ed Young!
Folks, he's an evil basketball coach. We welcome you back to 757 Saturday Sports Talk on CoVA Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and interact with us throughout the morning here on the program. Ed, it's now time for something we'll be doing new. Try to do it as often as possible, perhaps weekly. It is our 5-minute burning topic for today. Are you ready to weigh in? And by the way, ding, ding, we just did the weigh-in segment with the Davis fight being called off at Scope. I have a timer for this for 5 minutes, almost like 5 good minutes like they do with PTI, Wilbon, and Kornheiser. You ready to go at it with this one?
Let's burn it.
Here we go. Put it up on the screen. 5-minute burning topic. Was it the right decision for the New York Knicks to dismiss Tom Thibodeau after a second straight 50-plus win campaign as he takes the right hand and puts it to the face and shakes his head? So I take it you don't think it was the right decision. I'll let you weigh in on it first.
I don't need 5 minutes for this. Give me 5 seconds. What the hell are you doing, James Dolan? Okay, Pat Riley's not taking the job. All right, Phil Jackson's long retired. Bill Russell has passed away. What other coach are you going to get? The guy goes back-to-back 50-win seasons. They get to the Eastern Finals. They haven't been there in 25 years. The Knicks don't even know what winning is. I'm going to say this very simple. Dolan, you got rid of the wrong person. Tibbs needs to stay there. If you want to say to him, hey, next year, we've got to be in the finals or you're gone. All right. How about getting rid of the owner? Get somebody else in there that has a brain about basketball. All right? It's just the same guy that told Charles Oakley he's not welcome back in the building to watch, and he's a former Knick. One of the dumbest moves, but it's what's happening in the NBA lately. Winning coaches are getting fired. They're a victim of their own circumstances. So if you want to keep your job, stay about 500, don't ruffle no feathers, and then you'll keep your job. I don't want to hear, well, he didn't play people. He's hard to deal with. You know what? Everybody has their own personality in coaching. Jalen Brunson is he not the best Knick right now? Arguably the best Knick.
Sure.
Ask him after the loss. Is Tibbs the right guy to lead you into the promised land? And Brunson's answer was, are you serious?
Well, what's he going to say? He's not going to put him under the bus right there.
He can eat. Today's NBA guys, there are some that would sit there and say, change might be need to be made. Or like they'll give you some roundabout answer like, well, who knows? He simply said, yes. But he was like, are you kidding on the question? Okay? Not every player loves every coach because you're going to do things that's going to ruffle feathers. Okay, I'm a coach. People said, what did Tibbs do wrong? I know what he did wrong. He's coaching. I'm not. I would play the bench more during the regular season. You know this about me because you always fuss me out.
Mm-hmm.
So if I need you in the playoffs, I go to you, you can perform. If you don't play people and you need them and they don't deliver, that's on the coach. It's not the player, so to speak, because you didn't play them. Of course, in the NBA, I'm saying, your butt's making $10 million a year sitting on the bench doing nothing. So when your name is called, you better do something. Okay. High school, we're not paying them. Well, most high schools aren't paying them. Some are, not all. So that's my rant.
Oh, thank you for taking up almost all of the 5 minutes to leave me 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
You got to agree, so you don't need that much time either.
I thought about this longer, and we had the Virginia Beach Sports Club Jamboree this week over at Regent University and Founders Inn. I was able to MC that for the 4th consecutive time, and a big shout out to the folks over there, Chuck Thornton, the whole gang, Nick Senti, president of the sports club, outgoing, incoming Billy King, David Rhodes, John Casamano, and as well as Dr. Donald Robertson. We have this conversation about it, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But I will tell you this. The more I thought about this was the right decision for the wrong reasons. It's not a referendum on can Coach Tom Thibodeau coach. We know he's a good coach, but they probably maxed out with him, and it's time for a new voice and style. You said best player. I think it's Jalen Brunson like you. Some believe it's Karl-Anthony Towns, and I think Cat had more to do with this than Brunson. And, oh, by the way, Cat was the coach, was the player in Minnesota when Tibbs was the coach. And that didn't end well for Tibbs in Minnesota. And they made that big trade to get him in the swap with Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. Folks upset that Dante left, who was part of the Villanova Knicks, if you will, with Brunson and Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges. But look, I don't know if he matches the personnel, the meshing, the growth potential, and sometimes you just need a new voice in there. I don't think it was done for the right reasons, but ultimately, and this is with the assumption they have the right person in mind, whether it's Jason Kidd or whoever, and I thought it was Jason Kidd from start of this, not Jay Wright or Danny Hurley, a couple of highly successful college coaches who have won multiple national titles. But I do feel like they had to make this move at some point, and better to do it now than middle of the season when it pretty much loses your hopes of winning a championship. So there you have it. Put your head in the gloves. We'll fight about it again at another time when we have more time to discuss.
I would say this.
10 seconds.
I respect what you're saying. You have entitled your opinion. No matter how wrong it may be, you're entitled to your opinion. Cat, Mr. Towns, get your big butt in shape and stop living on the 3-point line, and maybe more coaches won't get fired.
All right, that buzzer means you got to stop talking. Hey, we do salute Cash Jackson, by the way, of Green Run, who was the male athlete of the year for Green Run High School. And also salute to Violet Claunch, City Athlete of the Year for female sports in Virginia Beach from Kempsville, and Andrew Salvadon of Bayside, track and field star, who got it for male athlete of the year in Virginia Beach Public Schools. More coming your way on CoVA Sports TV, and coming up next, we'll talk about a track athlete if time permits later on in the program, but we're going to chat with a former standout from the 757 in Chesapeake at Great Bridge High School, went on to the major leagues, is now spearheading a great event coming up to War Memorial Stadium in Hampton. That's Michael Cuddyer. It's on the way next on 757 Sports Talk. Stay tuned.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
And welcome back to 757 Sports Talk here on CoVA Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for all you tuning in, whether it be through our social media outlets or through Cox Communications Yurview TV, we thank you for doing so. We have a special guest with us. He is a Minnesota Twins Hall of Famer, former two-time All-Star Silver Slugger winner, was an NL batting champion as well. Hails from Great Bridge High School in Chesapeake. Michael Cuddyer here with us to talk about, as you just saw on the screen moments ago, the third annual, this thing keeps humming, getting bigger and better each year, All-Tidewater Baseball Classic presented by Michael Cuddyer. It's the Southside versus Peninsula Private High School Baseball Exhibition. Thanks to the great folks at Town Bank, also the Virginia Pilot, and so many other sponsors, as it is coming up on Monday, June the 9th at War Memorial Stadium in Hampton. There's all the information about tickets, and now you can get them through GoFan, plus that QR code is available at your fingertips. We say hello to Michael Cuddyer. Michael, good to see you again. How's life treating you as the summer's underway?
Oh, it's treating me well. Thanks for having me back on and promoting this event, like you said, that has grown year in and year out. Tremendous support from our sponsors, from the community, and this year is no different. So we're expecting a good turnout, a fun game for the players, and a lot of excitement there at War Memorial.
And certainly your vision has spearheaded this thing about, having an all-senior classic baseball game. And we see other sports try it. Sometimes there's some pluses, some minuses with it. But ultimately, this is to give back to the community, these hardworking student athletes. You've got one of your own, which we'll touch on in a little bit here. But give us the genesis, if you can, Michael, about this whole event, because this was once a dream, and sometimes dreams don't come into reality. This one did for you.
Yeah, and it's unique because it's not just seniors. It's for all players that had the numbers and had the seasons to be considered to be first and second team All-Tidewater, which we know has been going on forever. I was fortunate enough to be on All-Tidewater teams when I played at Great Bridge almost 30 years ago now. So it's something that has been established. And I think that's what's unique about it is the All-Tidewater team, the recognition has been there for a long time, but we wanted to kind of put a game with it. And obviously on the first and second team All-Tidewater teams, there's not enough players that would actually play the game. So this gives us another opportunity to recognize players that still had All-Tidewater caliber seasons, but unfortunately don't make the first or second team, which gets put in the paper. But those players still should be recognized for what they did throughout the course of the year for their high school team, and ultimately get to play in an all-star game that they've had fun with over the last couple of years.
You mentioned it, Michael, when you were growing up, there was that benchmark to make All-Tidewater. When did you know, all right, I have a chance to be pretty good at this thing called baseball that I've been doing all my life and can do it even at a higher level than what you did at Great Bridge and at a professional level? When did it kind of click for you? Because for a lot of these kids, you mentioned it's not just seniors, but an All-Tidewater Classic, if you go out here in this setting and show out against some of the best, this can propel you to bigger and better things, right?
It could, and for me, I can't say there's never an aha moment because it was never the goal. Like the goal for me was never, like my why was never to make it to the major leagues or to play college baseball or to be the best or whatnot. Obviously, I just wanted to be the best player that I could be, and that was my why. I loved working, I loved practicing, and the All-Tidewater team was a goal of mine because, back before social media and before YouTube and before podcasts and everything, the local paper was the deal, and the local paper was black and white except for the All-Tidewater team. That was the only time you got your picture in the paper in color. And, I remember the first time that I made it as I think I was a sophomore, the first time I made it in color, and, and then was fortunate enough to make it the next 2 years. So it was a big deal for me. It was a big deal for the area. Even making All-State was kind of a blurb in the back of the sports section, but All-Tidewater was that center spread and still is. So it was a big deal.
So be honest with me, sophomore year playing for the Wildcats, do you, the family, do you have the cutouts from the paper? Do you still have it in the scrapbook? Where is it?
I'm sure there's somewhere. I actually posted one from my junior year the other day that somebody found and was able to send it to me, and we posted that. So yeah, I'm sure there's some in the attic somewhere.
What do you like most about this format with this event?
Well, I was fortunate enough to play in a few all-star games in the minor leagues, and I was fortunate enough to play in a couple all-star games in the major leagues. And I feel like I was able to take some of the fun things from those weeks for me and kind of incorporate it into this event and for the players. And now as social media has gotten bigger, we allow them to take their cell phones out on the field and post to the different platforms as long as they're using our hashtags. And it's just created an environment that is unlike any other in any game that they're going to be able to play in. And we've got drones flying around and taking pictures, and they're signing autographs and for the fans, and the kids are running the bases. So it's a fun time for everybody involved. And, we've had feedback from the players the last couple of years, some saying it's some of the most fun time they've ever spent on a baseball field. And that's what it's about. Too many times these kids are playing in front of college coaches or professional scouts, and everything's a pressure cooker and everything is evaluated. This is more just a game just to congratulate them and say, good job. You get to play against the best of the best, and maybe pull some things from other players and have conversations. But, it's more just for the memory banks than anything else for these players.
Absolutely. We're talking with Michael Cuddyer, former standout with the Minnesota Twins in the major leagues, a two-time All-Star, a Silver Slugger recipient, and the National League batting champion, played for the Twins, also the Colorado Rockies, New York Mets, and it all started for him in the 757 at Great Bridge High School in Chesapeake. Coming up, it is the All-Tidewater Baseball Classic, Southside versus Peninsula, Monday, June the 9th at War Memorial Stadium. Gates open at 6 o'clock. They've got a little bit of a recognition before the game starts off at 7 o'clock, and the tickets are $10 for ages 13 and up, $5 for ages 5 through 12. Again, go to the website for so much more, gofan.co to get your tickets. Also, alltidewaterclassic.org. That's alltidewaterclassic.org. It is 757 Sports Talk here on CoVA Sports TV. For you now, you got a youngster. He's a junior, right? Casey Cuddyer, shortstop. Right. Is he committed to UNC, if I understand correctly?
He is. He was able to do that in the fall. And again, he just loves baseball. It's obviously a great thing to have that and to, have the prospects of going and playing Division I college, especially for an institution like UNC. But more than anything, he loves practicing. He loves getting better. He loves playing the game. And I'm really, really proud of the path that he's created for himself. He was able to make the All-Tidewater team last year and, make first team all region, first team all state. And this year he followed it up with another really good year. And it's just fun as a dad watching him play. And, and that's what I am. I'm a dad. I watch from the back of left field or right field, whatever field they're playing in. And I just love enjoying them, watching them play.
So I hear this from a lot of pro athletes, former pro athletes like yourself, that it's more, the anxiousness is at a higher level, the anxiety more for you watching your own child than when you were in the batter's box, facing a 2-1 pitch and you're going up against, it could be Roger Clemens, whoever it is.
Yeah.
Is that true? And how helpless of a feeling is it? But also, is it even more gratifying when you see him get that big 2-run base knock to put the team ahead late in a spot than was for even your own self?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's much more anxiety watching a Tuesday afternoon game at Great Bridge High School than playing in the World Series or playing in the Home Run Derby. And because every parent wants to see their kid enjoy themselves and have fun. And this game that we play provides only very few moments like that. And when you play this game at the highest level and you play it for as long as I did, you understand that oftentimes the valleys last longer than the highs, and there are more of them. So I knew that I could deal with those valleys. I knew over time how to handle myself. And when it's your kid, you try and prepare them, but the only way that they're going to be able to handle the peaks and the valleys is going through it and carving their own path.
Well, and for you, a heck of a career. You were certainly known for your days with the Twins, but before that, Great Bridge, Gatorade Player of the Year, State Player of the Year, Favorite memories from your playing days, and how much do you see a little bit of your own son and some things he does? It's like, you know what, that looks pretty familiar. Do you see a lot of the same things? And how are you guys different, if at all?
Yeah, my favorite memories playing with my friends. High school baseball is really, really special because you grew up with your teammates and you go through everything for the one goal, and that's to win high school baseball games. As you get up in levels, things change. You have to get to know guys quicker, faster. You don't know them for as long. You don't have the histories with all of them. And oftentimes, especially in minor leagues, the goal is not ultimately win a baseball game. It's to get better individually and get promoted and ultimately get to the major leagues. So it's a completely different dynamic than high school baseball, a little less innocent, so to speak. And I think that's what I see in my son. He enjoys practicing with his teammates. He enjoys going out and competing with his teammates and doing the off-season workouts and the early morning lifts and things like that, and going through it for a common goal. And that's what's really fun for me to watch because it takes me back to those times as well.
Awesome. Come more here from Michael Cuddyer, the former Minnesota Twins standout who got it all started in the 757 at Great Bridge High School in Chesapeake, because we have the All-Tidewater Baseball Classic coming up on Monday, June the 9th at War Memorial Stadium in Hampton. You sort of touched on a little bit of the advice that you give to your son, but so many youngsters want to be that next, major league star they're watching on TV today. The Juan Sotos, the Shohei Ohtanis, the Aaron Judges, and there's just so precious few. Where do you think the state of the game is? Be it at the grassroots level, the younger level, the high school level, college baseball? There's been some wild results in the college baseball postseason so far, and then major leagues. There's been some rule changes the last couple of years we've seen lately go into effect with the pitch clock and extra innings having a runner on second, which I think I've expressed to you I'm not a big fan of. But where's kind of the state of the sport? You think it's in a healthy spot right now at all levels?
I do. We've got participation throughout all levels of the sport. I think you're starting to see viewership with the rule changes and the speed of the game picking up. You're starting to see viewership a little bit more, and it's more exciting. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch guys run the bases, and college baseball is super exciting, especially this time of year with the regionals and the super regionals coming up, and then the College World Series, which then kicks it into the summer for travel baseball and everything that the kids are doing now. It's I think that the game of baseball is in a positive state for sure.
Yeah, and your former team, the Twins, off to a nice start here in a very good division where Detroit looks like a possible World Series contender. Cleveland's mighty good. Kansas City can't be slept on. It's quietly become one of the better divisions in baseball.
It has. It really has. I mean, and young and exciting to watch. And they play a fun style of game. All the teams in that division do. Twins got off to a rocky start in the first couple weeks of April, but then on the backs of their pitching staff, it really took off, winning 14 games in a row and getting themselves back into the race. So it should be a fun summer to follow them, and I'm excited to see where they end up.
Yeah, getting that Byron Buxton guy healthy has made a big difference for them, right?
Really big. I mean, one of the most dynamic players in the game. There's no question.
Yeah, for sure. As we get ready to let you go here, Michael, we thank you for the time. Again, the All-Tidewater Baseball Classic coming up. Tell the folks what they'll see when they come out there. Any chance you can get in the cage and hit a couple for the folks, let them go ooh and ah? Or are those days done?
I don't see myself getting into the cage. Those days are slowly fading away. But, I think the one thing that's unique about this All-Tidewater game, especially this year, because we've had such great sponsors over the last few years, because we've had such a great turnout over the last few years, this year we're able to do something a little bit special. We've got 4 charities that we're giving $2,000 donations to each. Eliza Hope, Ground Zero, Union Mission, and the Ocean View Challenger Division in their Little League, where we're actually going to be able to make 4 $2,000 donations, which I think is unique because you don't see too many all-star games, too many showcase type games giving back to the community. And that's what this game is about. It's the All-Tidewater Classic for a reason. It's because we're all part of this community. When the community supports us as baseball players, we feel like we need to give back and support them as well. So really fortunate we're able to do that. Big thank you to our sponsors for allowing us to have the freedom to do that. And hopefully moving forward year in and year out, it continues to grow, and we're going to be able to continue to do more help and more good things within the community through this game.
That is so awesome. A tip of the cap to you and those great sponsors and partners you have on board with the All-Tidewater Baseball Classic. Again, with the folks at Town Bank, the Virginia Pilot, and others. Again, if you want to become a partner and help them out and join this, and it's so important for the community to go support this, honoring the past, celebrating the present, and envisioning the future, go to alltidewaterclassic.org, and you can read about the history and so much more that is involved with this great event. Michael Cuddyer, always a pleasure, my friend. You enjoy this game coming up, and I'm sure we'll be talking down the road.
Matt, I appreciate you having me, and always thanks for the support.
Our pleasure. That is the former Great Bridge Wildcat standout and all-star Michael Cuddyer here with the All-Tidewater Baseball Classic coming up at War Memorial Stadium in Hampton on June the 9th. We'll take a timeout. More's coming your way here on 757 Sports Talk. Don't touch that dial and keep it tuned. Hit the like button, the share button, and subscribe buttons to CoVA Sports TV.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
CoVA Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit covapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Bacon cheeseburger for a limited time, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. Yeah, this is not the time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. And there's bacon on that burger. The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Now, for a limited time on the $7 Meal Deal lineup. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Did you hear about the kidnapping at school? It's okay. He woke up now.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Alrighty, as you heard from Michael Cuddyer, the former Major League Baseball All-Star, we welcome you back to 757 Saturday Sports Talk on CoVA Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel whenever you are tuning in. We always love to hear your feedback and your interaction with us here on the program. Edward, it is now time for the Ask Coach Young question. It comes from Kathy in Newport News today. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, there it is. Will the Pittsburgh Steelers win a playoff game in 2026 with Aaron Rodgers at QB?
I'm going to go way out on a limb and say yes. Think they can make it as a wild card team and hopefully get a win finally in the playoffs. This Aaron Rodgers sideshow hopefully is done and not just beginning, finally signing. Be ready for the mini camps coming up. Hopefully he's got something left in him. It's a one-year deal. He's 41, be 42 in December. You know, he had Achilles tear 2 years ago. So, excuse me. Let's see what he can do. I mean, they're not going to win a lot with Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, Skylar Thompson. There's no disrespect to Mason Rudolph, but let's see what Rodgers can do. I'm not a gigantic Rodgers fan. I respect what he's done, his career and whatever. He is towards the end of it, not the beginning. Steelers are good. We'll put a good team around them. And if they win a game in the playoffs, I'm not going to just put it all on Aaron Rodgers. They're good. That's a great organization.
They have lost 5 consecutive playoff games, as hard as that is to believe. You got to go back to 2016-17 to find their last postseason triumph. As we get ready to close out the first hour of the program here of 757 Saturday Sports Talk, records are made to be broken. Joshua Kai Smith is the new Class 6 110 hurdles record holder at 13.47. He of Grassfield High School, Ed, breaks the record of Garfield High School, Joshua Kai Smith is from Garfield High School. He breaks the record of Grassfield alum and U.S. gold medalist Grant Holloway out of Chesapeake. We've been scanning across the ticker throughout the morning some of the VHSL baseball quarterfinal matchups that are set. Maury's moving on to states in Class 5. So too is Ocean Lakes. Kickinton and Cox are runner-ups in Class 5. New Kent ended up getting knocked off by Grafton, but they're both going on to the states in Class 3. And in Class 6, Western Branch, unfortunately for Roland Wright, we were the jinx. He didn't move on to the state playoffs, but Gloucester in Class 4 knocked off Hampton to win the region title. Both are moving on to the state tournament. So kudos to all those teams. They try to get some hardware next week. And guess what? We are in the books for Hour 1. We'll talk to you coming up in Hour 2 on 757 Saturday Sports Talk.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there, because here you are more. One Life Fitness.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
I'm Dr. Mark Cardelia, orthopedic surgeon and surgical director of the CHKD Sports Medicine Program. We see a lot of knee injuries in student athletes these days, and many of these are ACL tears. Parents often ask how to know when a knee injury may be serious. The most obvious symptom is severe pain or swelling in the knee joint. Your child may have heard a pop when the injury occurred. Look for signs they can't put weight on the knee around 48 hours after the injury, or if the knee feels unstable or wobbly. Those are all signs you should see a CHKD sports medicine specialist. Our sports medicine physicians, surgeons, athletic trainers, and physical therapists understand the needs of growing athletes and tailor treatment to fit each child's age and level of activity. Our goal is to accurately diagnose the problem in a timely fashion and provide the treatment that will ensure a safe return to activity. Kids want to play, and we want to help them get back in the game. To learn more, visit chkd.org. Sports medicine at CHKD. We're more than a hospital.
Okay, folks, this is the Norfolk Tides Sweet Press Box. Take a look at this. Good stuff right here. You got the TV, you got the table, you got... Hold on, wait. You even got Coach Ed Young in the house. What are you doing here?
Watching some good baseball, minor league baseball with my future Yankees. And
and some future Orioles coming on up. Unbelievable. They let anybody in Harbor Park's press box. Unbelievable. Can't believe it. I'm just lost for words.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Welcome you back to 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Hour 1 featured the likes of Michael Cuddyer. He had a Great Bridge High School in Chesapeake, former Minnesota Twins all-star outfielder. And you heard the Ask Coach Young segment. You heard our 5-minute burning topic. We hit on Keyshawn Davis. And we always encourage you to interact with us through our CoVA Sports TV YouTube channel and all the social media outlets that you tune in and watch the show, be it Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, or what does Ed say? Snapgram, Instaface, no, Twitter, X, all those different platforms that you can find us, as we are all over the globe. And we're now on television as well, too. Hour 1, traditionally, of the show will be seen on the TV side of things here for the program. We did get a comment. Go ahead. You want to jump in?
Yeah, now that we're on TV, I gotta get a makeup person.
Well, you got to fire that gal. I mean, go hire that gal, not fire that gal. She might fire you at some point. So
I got to get a gal to work on. I need makeup. I don't need lip gloss and all that. I need to be made to look good because, as my mom once said, God rest her soul, I said, when we first hooked up with radio years ago, I said, Mom, I'm going to have be part of a show on the radio. She said, honey, that is great. You have a face for radio. And I just kind of looked at her like that. She just went about her business. So she would be excited that I'm on TV, but I think she would be doing one of these.
Probably so. We mentioned spring sports are hot and heavy right now. You've got track happening. We highlighted the young man from Garfield, who broke the Grassfield great Grant Holloway's record, Joshua Kai Smith. You've got softball, you got baseball, you got track, you got all kinds of things, lacrosse, tennis, soccer, you name it. It's a good question from Lulu Burr because I'll hit on that because I'm depressed about baseball. I'm depressed about baseball, Ed, because you probably saw the news about Corbin Burns of the Diamondbacks, who I watched last Sunday, pitched pretty well, bolt us out to a lead after getting down 10-0. I say us, Diamondbacks. And I'm wearing a Padres jersey today to show you I've jumped ship. I'm jumped ship already. I've jumped ship to San Diego. We're done. Anyhow, and a Canada hat, which makes no sense. Maybe I should go root for the Blue Jays. But I am very depressed. Yeah, no, we don't want to root for them. They're evil. I'm depressed because Corbin Burns, Tommy John surgery. They won that game on Sunday, but it really didn't matter because the season is, to me, officially over for the Diamondbacks because of his Tommy John. He will not be able to return until late 2026 at the earliest. And now the Baltimore Orioles, who got ridiculed for getting rid of him, their winning streak just snapped in a 1-run loss to the Athletics in Sacramento on Friday night. But the Orioles don't feel too bad about letting Burns go, given what just transpired.
Well, first of all, how about your D-backs with a .01 chance to win a game the other night?
Didn't matter. They won that game against the Braves. It was a day game. And, yeah, they were down 10-4, I think it was, 6 runs in the ninth. They scored 7 in the ninth, beat up the Braves bullpen with Iglesias and the other stooge. I forget who the other stooge's name was. He was a stooge. And that was wonderful. But I knew the anvil was coming. The Acme anvil was coming, and it smashed them. And now they're going to finish in 4th place behind the evil West Coast Empire. You're donning the evil East Coast Empire shirt, and they were able to salvage one without getting swept by that evil West Coast Empire, defending World Series champions, who I will not even acknowledge what their name is, but I still can't stand them.
Dodgers.
The San Francisco Giants and San Diego, the Daddies, my new favorite team. Although their bullpen will spit it up probably in a big spot and they'll just go into the crapper. They blew a 5-run lead this week, by the way, against San Francisco. I think that was on Wednesday or Thursday. I forget it, though. Anyway, before we get to Plaxico's relatives question, Plaxico is among the top wide receivers in the 757. We do have that on CoVA Sports TV about who's going to win Game 2 of the finals. I'll just tell you right here and now, Pacers are going to win. Book it, stamp it, done. Go ahead.
Before I get into basketball, what's happened to Burns is a shame. I mean, he was a great pickup. Baltimore didn't want to re-sign him or couldn't re-sign him, and I think Burns had Arizona on his mind. So that's why he went. He wasn't traded or released or whatever. He moved on. Now, he gets Tommy John surgery. Well, it's a serious problem. I read a statistic yesterday. There has been more Tommy John surgeries in the last in the entire 1990s. Now, I did the same thing when I read it. I said, let me read this again. What does that say about Major League pitching, pitchers in general? We're going back to days before 1990s, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. Guys throwing 300 innings, striking out 350 people, pitching into the extra innings. You never hear that ever again. And those guys, you didn't see that. Bob Gibson, Fergie Jenkins, Juan Marichal, Steve Carlton. None of those guys, and they all pitched 25 complete games a year. None of them had Tommy John surgery. But these guys nowadays who pitch 5 innings can't do it. So what's Major League Baseball, you might need to do some kind of study of what the heck is going on. It's too many pitchers. Now, somebody will say, well, they're just making pitchers throw as hard as they can. Well, that's what guys did back in the day, too. You have to learn to become a pitcher because you're a thrower at first. You got to learn to become a pitcher. I just can't believe that many surgeries in the entire 1990s didn't have that many. That's just
well, look at the pitching. We talk about protecting pitchers, but maybe we're overprotective in the sense they don't pitch more than 5-6 innings most of the time now. And if a guy gets into 80, 90 pitches in the 4th inning, he's yanked right away if he's near his pitch count or his allotment, his limit that they may have for him. And it's unfortunate, but you knew right away. I was watching the game when Burns said he mouthed something to the dugout and smacked his mitt. Like I think he said his elbow's dead. He knew he was done. And I knew that even though the report was only be a couple weeks, I was just like, no, the Acme Anvil's getting ready to drop. It's getting ready to drop. And it dropped. They waited to get the excitement up to think it was not that bad. And they had this incredible, improbable comeback against the Braves. And then the right for the sucker punch. Speaking of which, OKC got that in Game 1.
Right in the kisser.
Yeah, Powell, right in the kisser. OKC got that from the Pacers in Game 1. Indiana led for 0.3 seconds, and here they are, Edward, in the NBA Finals, having done it not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times this postseason. The numbers are staggering at what the Pacers have done. In fact, there's a probability analyst or geek or whatever you want to call him, but figured it out that the likelihood of the Pacers doing what they've done against the Bucks in game number 5 at home, the Cavaliers in Cleveland in game number 2 on the road, the Knicks in game number 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals at Madison Square Garden, and game 1 in OKC. They had a less than 5% chance to win any of those games, down 7 or more, with 35 seconds to 3 minutes to go. NBA teams were 0-121 when trailing by 7 or more in the final 3 minutes of regulation in the NBA Finals over the last 28 seasons. But the chances of all 4 of those happening, 1 in 75 million. And while you will be quick to point out that OKC recovered from the Game 1 meltdown against the Denver Nuggets with Nikola Jokic, a past championship team, I'm here to tell you I think there's a psychological hangover, and I think they are going to have a loss coming up. Again, at most they get 1 game in Indiana. I don't see both, and I think they will now lose these NBA Finals, which I would not have said to you in, I wouldn't say a million years, but really didn't fathom it before the series started.
Well, let me say this about OKC. Don't screw this up. This is the first time I've gone with OKC.
Screwed it up. What do you mean? Don't screw it up.
Well, the first game is not end of the series. You got to win 4.
Really?
And you
Ask
guarantee
the Knicks fans about that, how that turned out. Go ahead.
Every series is different. You got to judge every series by itself.
Fire Mark Dagnall with Tom Thibodeau while you're at it. Go ahead.
You guarantee Pacer win. I guarantee OKC win. This wakes them up.
Whoa. You're guaranteeing OKC wins game 2?
OKC wins game 2 tomorrow, yes.
Put your money where your mouth is.
You got a $5 bet, man. I'm rolling with this one.
Yeah, $5. Listen to you.
Well, I mean, I don't. That's all I have right now. I only got $5. I mean,
well, I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. I think they are cooked. I think they're cooked. I really do. Maybe not for the entire. They'll get a game or 2 in this series. I think they'll probably. What'll happen is they'll be just like the last 2 series. They'll be up 2-0 after winning 2 in Cleveland, 2 in New York. They'll probably lose game 3. That'll let down. They'll respond in game 4. Lose probably game 5 in OKC, and then win game 6 to close it out. So I now go from Thunder and 5 to Pacers and 6, based off you shake your head, but here's what you're not comprehending. Dagnall inexplicably went small in that game, Ed, and furthermore, they got out rebounded in that game by 17, plus 17 on the glass. They had 24 turnovers, like 20 in the first half. They didn't play that well, and they won. I think Chet Holmgren and I think Jalen Williams got tight down the stretch. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as wonderful and prolific as he is, he was Doris Burke's words on the broadcast, uber aggressive, trying to set the tone. And I get that and respect that. But I think he took too many shots and didn't have enough trust in his teammates to kick it out to when they're open, i.e. Alex Caruso, the only guy on that team that has won a championship. And I just think there's going to be a psychological – they have to get up 30 plus to put the Pacers away. They have, as somebody once used the phrase, an iron will. They won't die. They're cockroaches, and they're balanced with Siakam, with Nembhard, a defensive whiz, TJ McConnell off the bench, Obi Toppin. The Knicks are saying, why didn't we hang on to that guy who had the game of his life hitting threes in game 1, and so many others, Miles Turner, and, oh, by the way, Tyrese Halliburton. I'm sure you've seen all the Halliburton memes and gifs out there, too.
So you mean to tell me this is coming from the guy that told me when it all started, OKC, Ed, you got to watch OKC because I was going with Celtics. And you said, no, they're too young, energetic, they got answers.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because they had the one mishap against Denver, and then they let it happen again against a team from the East. And remember now, OKC had been dominant against teams from the East, so much so that it was their first loss to a team from the Eastern Conference in 15 calendar months at home. And this was the first team to win a playoff game when committing 16 or more turnovers than their opponent in the NBA Finals. This is a team that's now got 4 game-tying or winning field goals. Basically, when you say, how did they just win that game? And, oh, by the way, how about Tyrese Halliburton? He's like 13 of 15 in the last 2 minutes of games this year on tying or winning shots. That's just insane. Insane. Can't make it up. Rick Carlisle's a darn good coach, by the way. And I think there's a coaching edge, and I do think there's a mental and psychological edge. It's not a matter of the Pacers being so much better or more athletic or more talented than OKC, because they're not. But I'll tell you like this. I think now the more compelling series in a lot of respects is going to be the hockey, because we've already had not 1, but 2 overtime games with Edmonton beating the Panthers 4-3 on a Wednesday night. And then game number 2 going Florida's way in double OT by a count of 5-4. You have star power with Draisaitl and McDavid. Bobrovsky in net, who's been a real big contributor for the Panthers on these last 2 runs to the Stanley Cup Final, a championship last year. And, oh, by the way, the NBA ratings after game 1, they were down significantly. I think people are into the hockey. So much so, I wish I could show the tweet on the show and on the screen here. Mark Williams out of Norfolk Academy, Duke, Charlotte Hornets. You know Mark almost got traded to the Lakers. Instead, they were the Fakers. He said I couldn't take his eyes off the hockey last night. He tweeted it. He's a basketball guy loving the hockey. What do you say about that? It ain't just Charles Barkley, sir.
Couple things. Now everybody wants to talk about Oklahoma City not being experienced enough, pressure's too much, which is what I said at the beginning of the playoffs. And Ed, you don't know what you're talking about. You're back in the day. It's youth. You just want to go with your old veterans all the time, and that youth is going to win out. Now it's flipped, and all of a sudden, OKC, you're going to lose. OKC is going to win the next game, and they're going to win the series. These kids, they're young. They're younger dudes. The thing about younger dudes at that level, either they're going to just totally screw it up, or they're going to not realize how young they are. As they say, they're too stupid to realize how young they are. And they're going to go out and ball it. I think what they might have got caught up in is everybody in the world says they're going to win. OKC is going to win. It's not even going to be a series. Some people pick 4-0. Oklahoma City's too good. The thing Rick Carlisle did, and you're right, he's one of the best coaches that doesn't get that recognition. They put all that noise out. They played. Now, they struggled most of that game. Yes, they did. But they were in there. They kept fighting back. They were there. And here comes Halliburton. And you're right. He's one of the biggest clutch players of all time. I'm going to say it right now. I think he's tied for second behind Kobe Bryant, I think, in terms of clutch shots in the last minute or 2 minutes to win it.
Well, here's a great stat for you. You ready for it? The last 15 seconds of playoff action, regulation or overtime, he's 5 for 5. That's 100%. The rest of the NBA players are 4 of 27. He's 5 for 5.
You can't be more poster child for clutch. There's no more. You can't get any better than 5 for 5. 6 for 6, but we're saying 100%.
He might be 6 for 6 if it's hosting game 2 on Sunday night. He might be. Give him a chance.
I think I really believe. See, now I jumped on the OKC bandwagon this series. Was picked them to lose every one.
You have no respect for the Pacers.
No, I do. I do respect the Pacers because of Carlisle, Virginia guy, UVA guy. So yeah, I do have respect for them. And you talk about Mark Williams saying, "I'm just going to watch hockey." These are going to be. This is going to be the worst.
He said he was riveted by the hockey. So let's make sure
it's going to be the worst watched NBA Finals in a long time for numerous reasons. The NBA turns a lot of people off, and then you got Oklahoma City, Indiana in the finals.
Well,
there's no Lakers.
It's not exactly household. I mean, we have Canada trying to get themselves a Stanley Cup for the first time in what feels like eons, an awful long time. But that's not exactly a household series. But I actually think there might be. I don't have the raw numbers in front of me. I think there might be more people into the hockey than the basketball right now.
I would not doubt when it's all said and done, this hockey series will win out. Yeah. It is compelling. It's overtime. It's the two teams. By the way, I picked Panthers.
We got like 17 different playoff picks. All right, let's settle this. Since you're not going to put your neck out there, I'll do this. You just have to supply the jersey. If OKC wins game 2 on Sunday night, I will do a show of your choice, one show in a New York Yankees jersey. You know how much that pains me? That pains me an awful lot. Now, you got to give me the jersey. And you did a show one time in a D-backs jersey. I give you that in a hat at the Sportsplex. But I will do it. It can be next week. It can be any week if you're choosing. I will do a show in a Yankee jersey if they win game 2. That's how confident I am that the Pacers, not that I'm wearing a Pacers jersey, though these are colors of Indiana.
Okay, and when you wear my jersey, I want you to eat no food, okay? Make sure
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, is what I'm telling you.
Make sure you take a shower, you use deodorant. Don't mess my jersey up. That thing was expensive. So keep that up there. My two favorite, Buckmore, my man Buckmore, two favorite brothers, special Mr. 500 and some changes.
Buck should know this. If I'm going this far on a limb, I'm pretty confident that the Pacers are going to win game 2 in OKC. Just because
Buckmore, get on here and educate this young fella. It's OKC young guys are going to win this series. He says no way.
Better not be close. They better stomp on them and get up 35 in the first half, because if they let that thing get to single digits, and I told this to someone who thinks he knows everything, I won't reveal who that person was, during the game on Thursday night was game 1, right? Was it Thursday night? I think it was Thursday night. I said they didn't push it up to 20. It was 15. And he said to me, "Oh, no, it's over. It's in the bag." And that dude was wrong. And that dude's pretty, he knows his stuff often, but he was wrong. He didn't want to listen to me. I've watched the Pacers do this time and time again, and Halliburton is something else. Listen, Dagno overthought it, and they that was their game to blow them out, and I don't think they did. So I'd be very concerned if I'm an OKC Thunder fan, and this could be the biggest sports book collapse in terms of favorite losing to an underdog in the finals since one that pains me. When the LA Lakers, yes, led by Shaq and Kobe, but featuring my guy Karl Malone, lost to the Detroit Pistons in 2004 in 5 games. Now Kobe helped them avoid a sweep with his heroics late in Game 2 at home, but I'm not sure SGA will do that because if it's tight, OKC, that place is going to be nervous and they are not going to feel good whatsoever about their chances in that ballgame.
Well, that's the way I looked at it as the first 2 games. I can see the Pacers winning one of them. Okay, because everybody says you got to split. When you're on the road, you at least got to split, get back to your place, try to win them all, go from there. So OKC can still do that. It's just the talk of this playoff is so great. And it's funny how so many of the talking head experts jump on bandwagons. The OKC wagon was the one. SGA wagon was the one. Now all of a sudden, here's Indiana hanging on, and now some people want to say, you know what? I think they're going to win this series. 4 days ago, Indiana had almost no chance. And now all of a sudden, people like Matt Hatfield are saying, oh, they're going to win it. They're going to win it. Look at it. They're going to win. If OKC would have hung on and won Thursday night, would you be picking Indiana to win the series?
If they had hung on and won in overtime or by 1 or 2?
I don't care how they won. Won by 20, won by 1. If they would have won Thursday.
Yeah, but again, let me flip that to you since you're gonna play. I don't know what you're doing here. You're real slick over there. You're trying to be like your buddy Stephen A. Smith, who you can't stand. You're being real slick.
Don't mention that name around me.
Oh, I just did it. Screaming A. Smith, right? So it's going to serious, but you'll love before your buddy Mad Dog. You know what? Let me flip it around to you. Had the Knicks held on to 1 game 1, you think they would have lost to the Pacers or no? This is deja vu. And when you say it can't happen again, lightning strike twice. Lightning has struck 4 times, not once or twice. 4 times.
You can't say because that happened in that series, it's definitely going to happen in this series. Okay, I will give Indiana credit. That's a great statistic. They've won every opening game. If I'm not mistaken, have they won the first 2 games of every playoff game?
By the way, the last 2 NBA champions, Boston Celtics last year and Denver Nuggets the year before, won every game 1 of their series. The Pacers have done that. The Thunder have dropped 2 game 1s. And the only saving grace for OKC, hold on now, the only saving grace for OKC now in this particular series is that it's not a 2-3-2 format, which my Jazz, I was like my Utah Jazz, in 97 and 98 had to deal with Chicago. But it's 2-2-1-1-1. So if they do get it back to OKC for a game number 5 at 2-all, or better, somehow win 3 in a row, which I don't see. But if they get back there and they take game 5 to go up 3-2, then they're in a decent, favorable position at that point. I mean, if they lose game 2, will the odds makers still have them favored to win the series? They're almost a $7 favorite again. And I think that's a big mistake. I really do. I think that's a huge mistake. But we'll see. You're very confident. How about this? If they lose the series, not even game 2, or it could be either one. How about this? What will Ed Young do to eat his crow other than saying, well, I was wrong. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to stick my head against that too.
Buy yourself an OKC jersey and I'll wear it.
Why would you wear an OKC jersey if they lose?
I'm sorry, Indiana Pacers jersey, right? Pacer jersey.
Wear an Indiana Pacers jersey.
You probably got a jersey somewhere. You got like 1 million jerseys. You got
I have a Jermaine O'Neal Pacers jersey. Can you wear that?
I'll wear that.
Okay.
I'll wear that.
Okay. If they lose game 2 or the series, which one are you, or either one? Either one.
You said if they win the series.
No, your choice. Now, hold on. If they win game 2 and lose the series, you could be off the hook, or vice versa. Your choice. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you the option.
If the Pacers win the NBA title, I'll wear Jermaine O'Neal's jersey on one of the shows.
But if they win game 2, which means I'm right and you're wrong, what's new, and they lose the series, you won't wear that jersey?
No, because you just gave me a choice. Is it game 2 or the series? I'm taking the series. It's more important than one game.
I still think you set the tougher consequences.
This is what I got to deal with. This is why
you have so many avenues to wiggle your way out of trouble.
This is why we need a promoter so I can get one punch in, and then I can rest.
Hold on now. If that happens, if the Pacers win game 2, I don't have to wear a jersey, and you don't have to wear a jersey. What's the fun in that? Nothing is solved by game 2. So there's got to be a little fun with game 2 here.
You just bet 8 minutes ago. Run the tape back.
I know I did.
Hold on. You said if OKC wins Sunday, I'll wear your Yankee jersey next week's show. I said, okay.
And I will do that.
You said to me, your choice, my choice, either game 2 or the series. If Pacers win, you got to wear O'Neal jersey. I said, okay, give me the series. If they win the series, I'll wear the O'Neal jersey. Now you want to backpedal, get out of your bet, and then throw me under the bus with, well, what are you going to do on Sunday's game? Sit back, watch it, eat a pizza, and enjoy it. What do I got to worry about anything else for? It's the series that's important.
It's just your wiggle
how
out of.
How about I shave my head and run naked down Main Street? That's what you want to see.
That'd be great. Be great. You just wiggle your way out of any type of jam and maneuver.
Okay, I'm going to defer to our audience. If there's anybody still listening, they're not running around Saturday. Can you please help me with this nut job? Was I not in the right saying when he said you want to go game 2 or the series? I took series. Pacers win, I win the O'Neal jersey. He took if OKC wins Sunday, he'll wear my Yankee jersey. Y'all heard it. So come on here now and tell me who was right. Matt Hatfield or Coach Young? I need to know.
I understand that. What I'm saying is if the Pacers win, and I'm right, game number 2, but they somehow lose this series in 7 games, which I think even you would be convinced down 2-love going to Indiana, it's going to damage their chances greatly. I think you would
every win is going to hurt.
But if they win 7, and if I was right on what I said, which was they're going to win game 2, and you don't have to wear a jersey, that's no fun for me. No fun for me.
That's just the way it is. I mean, sometimes you have fun in life, sometimes you don't. The fun comes at the end of the series, which you're so strong about.
No. I'm actually. Hold on. Let me preface it. I actually feel, in a weird way, stronger about game 2 than I do the whole series. In a weird way. Now,
I do. So now they may not win. So
no. I think they will. No, I think they will win the series. But what I'm saying is, I would be surprised if they won game 2 and still lost the series at that point. But if somehow, some way, like Halliburton, heaven forbid, turns his ankle in game 4 or 5, he's out the rest of the series, and you somehow weasel your way out of this, then that's no fun to me. That's no fun to me. And you get to say, well, injuries happens. That's sports.
But I'm not weaseling my way out. I just told you. If the Pacers win the championship,
Buck sounds like he's on my side. Thank you, Buck. Sounds like he's my.
He said, "Coach, please don't put me on the spot."
See,
I'm a coach and young guy.
Like I do. He doesn't want to admit.
He wants to agree with me, but he respects you not to put you down on the air. That's what Buck's about. Buck, thank you for being on my side.
To the end, that he doesn't want to say, Coach, I think you're wrong on this one.
All right. Hey, Buck, come on back on. Buck, who's going to win the series, Pacers or OKC?
See what he says.
And also, who's going to win game
2? Yeah, exactly. Which is what we've been asking. That was our question. Let's go to break because, as we showed that question to folks, coming up next, Ed, would you like to tell the audience what we have before we get ready to end this show at the top of the hour? I know you would. Go ahead.
We got former NFL defensive back David Macklin. I think we've had him before on the radio side.
We did.
He's going to join
podcast last summer, yes.
Okay, he's going to join my illustrious co-host here, main dude, usually wrong, does a lot of good things, but usually wrong, to discuss the Glory Days 4 on 4 flag football tournament that's coming up later this month. So we're going to talk about some flag football, which is going to be in the Olympics next year.
Yeah.
Flag
We
football.
didn't discuss that, but we'll let you talk to, because remember, he watches the show. He interacted with us during that whole Penn State Notre Dame matchup. He'll come
Yes,
on.
he did.
Sure,
Yes, he did.
and he was, and he'll come on, I'm sure. And he actually invited us to the social coming up on Tuesday night at Park Lane Restaurant in Hampton. He's invited us to come on out there if we want to. If you're not busy, we'll see if Ed has decided to depart the country.
This Tuesday.
We'll figure that out. He's invited us. We'll get some coaches, a nice little social. But anyhow, he's going to talk about that coming up, and we'll actually replay that again next week for those that miss it today in the first hour of the show, which will also be available on Cox Communications in Hampton Roads, Fredericksburg, Northern Virginia, and Roanoke, as well as through Yurview, syndicated nationally. But before we take a time out and let you get a stiff drink because you've dealt with this nut job, Buck Moore has answered back. You want to see what he said?
What did he say?
He's very confused about this series, but look what else he said. Sorry.
No, you took his thing and you wrote that in there.
I didn't get it.
I don't put it past. You got your hands on the button. I don't. I don't trust you. Hey, Buck.
My side.
Text me the real stuff, Buck. Text me the real stuff.
Sorry, he doesn't want to buy. Listen, Buck, I was all on the OKC train just like Ed was before game one. After game one, I got to eat my crow just like Scott Van Pelt. I didn't believe it, and they've done it. We've got more coming your way.
And you used to get on me for jumping ship. Oh, stick with what you had. Whether you're afraid, now you want to jump and got a Padre jersey on it. How are we going to trust this dude when he was talking Arizona D-backs forever? Now he comes on with a Padre, throws his team under the bus, broke Corbin Burns' elbow, and he jumps to the Padres. Me, I was with the Yankees when they were up, which is usually, and even when they're way down.
This
and
team is
I'm not
pathetic,
everything.
putrid, heartless, gutless. This guy is a saboteur.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What's that? Tank the Frank. Yes. Tank the Frank. Yes.
Frank the Tank, not Tank the
Tank the
Frank.
Frank the Tank, whoever. That dude.
That's enough.
He
I'm
came
glad.
to sabotage the season.
Okay. We've got more coming your way, folks. Don't go anywhere. It is 757 Saturday Sports Talk on CoVA Sports TV. Now a word from those that make it possible.
James Cotado tells us tonight there's a new team making new noise in the USL2 scene on the other side of the water.
Something special is brewing inside the walls of the Virginia Beach Sportsplex.
We're not here for moral victories. When we're on our day, we're a legit team.
See the stars of the future in pre-professional action at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. This combined season ticket special is for men's and women's. That's 15 games for just $100 for adults and $80 for youth. VBU has a brand new women's team that competes in the W League. Soccer fans, it's time to rally behind Virginia Beach United. Tickets are on sale now. Visit vbunited.com. Don't miss out on Virginia Beach United.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
Hi, this is Wayne Williams of Williams Deloach. I'm an experienced personal injury attorney, and I hope you don't need my services because I certainly don't like to see people injured on a daily basis. But in preparation for that unfortunate situation, your insurance coverage is very vital to your case. Give me a call today. I'd be happy to discuss your insurance situation for you and your family. That's the most protection you have, and you want to have that ahead of time.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. You need John Maynard. PFP, LUTCF, EA, all those initials behind his name mean he's qualified to work on your taxes. He's an ATA, accredited tax advisor. He's an ATP, accredited tax preparer. He's a fellow at NTPI, the National Tax Practice Institute. And if all that weren't enough, he's also been voted the best of Norfolk and the best of Virginia Beach awards. John Maynard has been professionally trained in tax preparation and representation. He brings to the table over 30 years' experience in federal and state returns. He delivers personalized, one-on-one service, and he's a certified electronic filer. The IRS likes electronic filers. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service, 455-6763.
At Atomic Wings, we prioritize real chicken with fresh, all-natural, never-frozen ingredients, all packed with serious flavor. Order from over 15 awesome flavors at atomicwings.com.
And we welcome you back to 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel with CoVA Sports TV and interact with us wherever you may be tuning in through all of our friends on social media, IG, Twitter, or X as they now call it, Facebook, and of course now also available on the television side through our friends at Cox Communications and Yurview. We have a special guest with us. He is a former National Football League defensive back with a number of different teams. It all started for him, though, in the 757 at Minchville High School in Newport News, where he starred in football, basketball, and track before taking his talents to Penn State University. 3-year starter, all Big Ten as a junior, then played for Arizona. Yeah, I'm rocking the Birds there, the Cardinals. Washington, St. Louis, Kansas City, Indianapolis. Hope I'm not forgetting anybody else as we say hello to the founder of Glory Days 4-on-4 Incorporated. You say, what is that? Well, he's here to tell you about all that and so much more. They've got their big day of football coming June 21st. David Maplin. How you been, my friend?
I've been excellent. Thank you for your time, Matt. Man, I appreciate you having me on, and excited for a new year. Our third annual 4-on-4 flag football tournament. We do have a social coming up here this Tuesday, and I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do for the 757 and all the different sports that you are part of and announce, and really keep our 757 and Tidewater area relevant. So I appreciate you.
Well, thank you for that. No, actually, we also enjoy you interacted. You jumped on the show one of the Saturdays way back when Penn State was getting ready for their big matchup with Notre Dame with Coach Young and me. But let's talk about this first before we reminisce about your great days at Menchville and where the Nittany Lions are now and the NFL in general. This Glory Days third annual Summer in Virginia 4-on-4 flag football tournament. It's coming to the McReynolds Athletic Complex. It's scrolling across our ticker now in Yorktown, Virginia. There's various age divisions and groups and registrations. Just tell us about the concept and how it came about, because it's the third annual, which means it's getting bigger and better, it sounds like, from year one and year two.
Yeah. You know, me, as you had stated, you know, playing in the league, and obviously I'll go through that lineup. Was drafted at Indy. Was there 4 years, Arizona 3, Washington, and then KC. But my whole career, obviously through college and playing basketball and football and high school and 1 year in college, has just been all about competing. At the end of the day, you know, the X's and O's are the X's and O's, obviously understanding your assignment, alignment, and then, you know, executing. But I found a niche in what we like to do with the 4-on-4 style is separate from the 7-on-7. 7-on-7, I feel like is great for implementation. Obviously, office coordinators getting dialed in on the new season and getting kids acclimated. But, you know, I found a space to where kids weren't getting as much reps. They weren't getting as many reps. They weren't getting as much competition moments. So I saw that within 4-on-4. The coaches love it. The kids love it the most because they get a little bit more freedom. They get to formulate their own teams. Parents can formulate a team, get with their best friends. It doesn't necessarily need to be a coach. From 7U all the way up to adults. We've had tournaments to where we had 22 women teams, 39 men teams. So the adult side is huge. Our high school level is the most competitive, I feel like, because those kids are athletic. Obviously got the youth. And then obviously our youth division, obviously 7U up to 13U. It's just phenomenal, you know, the kids having the adults to look up to. So 4-on-4 to me is very dear to my heart. The field's a 64 by 25, 50-yard field plan, and obviously 25-yard width. So it is shrunk down, but it gives the specialists obviously more opportunities to see the ball, make plays on the ball, and get quarterbacks to throw the ball more. So it just makes sense to me. And then lastly, our teams are from 5 to 7 player teams. So you're not getting the 20 team, 7-on-7 team to where you don't know who's going to play. all of the players are going to play, and they leave tired. So that's our goal, is for you to come and get your money's worth. Obviously, get that work in, and then leave away to where you feel like you've impacted the community and what we do. There is always a give back to what we do, whether it's an athletic program, organization that we've given back to. So over the past 3 years, we've given over $10,000 to various organizations, and that's our passion. That's what we want to do, and obviously take away from our tournaments, and obviously build a legacy to where we can continue to impact young people and also adults living healthy lifestyles through competitive sports. That's our vision and our mission here at Glory Days.
That's so awesome. And again, the folks that want to get involved with this, they can find out more details and also register on glorydays4on4.org. That's glorydays4on4.org. So we'll put it back up on the screen. You can see that QR code as well. The deadline to register is June the 16th, as we talk with former NFL defensive back and Penn State standout of Menchville High School in Newport News, David Macklin, here on 757 Sports Talk. David, it's funny that the 4-on-4 concept is unique, because when you think of football now, that's not the traditional 11-on-11 with the pros, the colleges, the high schools, and so on and so forth. You think of 7-on-7, which is so in vogue. But also we've seen in basketball, 3-on-3s become very popular. They have those big tournaments during the summer. So this is sort of a new type of thing. What do you hope the fans, the viewers take away from this, but also the participants, because it is unique and it is something that has some growth to it, and it has its little niche, if you will?
Yeah. We're doing a clinic coming up on Tuesday, giving the coaches and youth league coaches and obviously commissioners an understanding of what I feel about 4-on-4 and why I formulated 4-on-4. You mentioned the 3-on-3, hoop it up, and I played 3-on-3 back in the day. It's still a team concept. Obviously, the 4-on-4, everything is still a team concept. But I feel like, obviously, like I said, it's playing a defensive back corner in the NFL. From the offensive side, yes, it's still a team's aspect on the 4-on-4 side. But I feel like on the defensive side, as a corner, you get a chance, and a defensive back and safety, you get a chance to work on your craft a little bit more, get dialed in on the one-on-one situations. Honestly, playing 11-on-11, when I, played in the league, you still have to take care of your assignment. Obviously, understanding where your other teammates are. But when you're out there on the island and you're playing one-on-one, those are the moments that we really like to see corners and defensive back safeties get better, receivers get better, because it is an island out there. And the 4-on-4 aspect gives them a little bit more time, gives them a little bit more chance to pay attention to the details, kind of block out everything else. The ball is coming. It's coming to you. It's either going to one side or the other. The hiker is eligible, so that's a chance for maybe a running back and linebacker to get some one-on-one work too as well. But that ball's coming out quick, and the percentages are more for the ball to be coming to you. So that it's for those corners and those safeties to be that much more in detail. 7-on-7, you kind of don't know where the ball is going to go, whenever it's going to go. You can get. I've seen to where kids are out there 30 minutes and the ball hasn't been thrown to them once. That's not going to happen on 4-on-4. Everybody's going to get that work. That's what I'm all about. And then lastly, coming through coaches like Coach Dungy and other coaches that I've had, when we had one-on-one sessions in practice, those are the times that you get better. Those are the times the coaches are evaluating. So we need to give kids and we need to give participants that much more time to get better. Those are the times that obviously that translation over to the actual football field and the football game. So, 4-on-4 for me is an opportunity to simulate those one-on-ones, to get more competing moments, to get kids and to understand how to play the ball, to get receivers more catches, get quarterbacks and receivers on the same page. So we're going to talk about that obviously at our clinic and try to, get coaches to buy in. We're not trying to take away from 7-on-7. I know it has its place. But at the same time, I see a lot of coaches at these 7-on-7 events. They're going to need to have 3 or 4 teams on these 7-on-7 events, 5, 6 teams for all of their kids to get looks, and that's not possible. It's possible here at Glory Days. A coach can bring out his whole 1-4 team and have at least 5 or 6 teams, 4-on-4 teams, and all of them are going to get work. So we have our advantages, and we just, hopefully we'll get more and more participation.
Pretty neat, and definitely those technical aspects do get honed in on. I want to take you back to your days at Menchville. Give me a favorite memory or moment that sticks out. And I know you see it now. You look at these kids and you go, my goodness, I wish I came around in 2025 with NIL and all the things that are out there for student athletes. And but I know there was some fun battles in the Peninsula District in the 1990s, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, it's so many basketball and football. Ronald Curry, Michael Vick, obviously playing against those guys. Allen Iverson, basketball. There's so many games we played in football. You know, I see these kids now, they'll take maybe 1 or 2 clips and blow it up, man. We had each of those players I named, we all had so many clips, man. We could have had a lot of highlights. But, I mean, I would say football-wise, maybe us beating – I talked about this on Vic's podcast that we were just on a couple of weeks ago. When we played Hampton, we beat them my sophomore year. Was able to make a play at the end of the game that helped seal the game. And, you know, I was playing varsity there at Mitchfield. But, you know, it was times like that, obviously, in my football career. And obviously, junior, senior year, you know, my stats started growing on the defense and offensive side, running the ball. Just so many games, so many battles. I was talking about me scoring 7 touchdowns in one game against Gloucester. That was fun. I hadn't did that. You know, I scored multiple touchdowns in other games, but never maybe 7. I think it was 7, 8, one of them. But high school in general, man, just really got me prepared. Running track meets, just going against guys. You know, remember going against Green Run with Plexico and them. They had a 4x1 team that was just. They had a bunch of studs that went off to college and ran track. You know, we came maybe like 4th, but we had third or 4th or 2nd, one of them. We had fast guys on our team that ran track all year round too. So it's when you start talking about memories, man, it can go from football, it can go from basketball, it can go from track, man. It just you know, our area, man, and that's why I just really encourage young people to just play, find out what you like, you know, find out what you like. My son is playing baseball right now. I never played baseball, so he's 8 and he's loving it, and I'm getting a chance to understand and learn baseball through him because I never understood baseball. So he's natural. And I mean, we can be up here for an hour talking about, you know, high school highlights, man. It's just it's unfair. That's an unfair question.
No, I hear you, and I appreciate you say that, because baseball's got its strategy to it too, just like football and other sports. Basketball, you know, you pitch hit here, you sack bunt there, those type of things, lefty on lefty, those type of. You brought up the Menchfield thing, and it made me think of beating Hampton in 1993. It hadn't happened again until just a few years ago, in 2022. Then they beat them back to back because it's so hard to beat the Crabbers. How about your alma mater, Penn State, and you played for 2 of the all-time great coaches, Tony Dungy, who you referenced, and also the late great Joe Paterno. But my goodness, came very, very close to the championship game last year, lost to Notre Dame, but James Franklin's got them pointed upwards, and it feels like they're starting to get their footprint back in the 757 NVA on the recruiting front too.
Yeah. Well, when Joe was coming through, man, those guys grabbed a lot of guys as well. I just got off the phone with Mike Robinson. We were talking about the tournament coming up. Mike's doing an excellent job in Richmond with his youth league as well. He obviously had a great career at Penn State and won a Super Bowl in the NFL. But, you know, I go back to Darren Perry. Darren went and came and watched one of my basketball games at Mitchfield when we beat Granby. And just right there and then just seeing somebody who was successful at Penn State. And obviously myself, James Boyd, as you know, and the list goes on of guys who've come through Virginia that went on to Penn State and played. Anthony King and guys that I played with. Just so much pedigree, man. I always had this conversation. You talk about Ronald Curry and Plex, and if we could keep all of our athletes and everybody could have gone to UVA, man. I mean, how much, you know, you got Ronnie Barber, Tiki that all went to Virginia, but you got so many athletes, man, that come out of the 757 to make an impact, you know, all over the country. But hats off to James Franklin and those guys for what they're doing. The Virginia side has something to say. The 757 has something to say. Obviously, Northern Virginia. You know, when you play in the league, you play in college, you get those utters about Florida. And I'm here in Atlanta right now, Georgia, Texas. I lived in California as well. Lived in Arizona. You know, Arizona has they have a good, you know, they're still creating their identity, you know, obviously on the football side. But, yeah, man, I mean, from the kid that just got drafted this year, the tight end from Penn State. I mean, they're doing an extra job. I know they've come up to Virginia, down from Pennsylvania to Virginia to ODU a couple of times and done a couple of 1-days. But I think that's just the things you have to do now. I mean, there's enough talent on the East Coast. I'm not sure how much James and them are going on the West Coast to try to find talent, but, you know, they're heading in the right direction. And as far as the last year, I was so proud to see those guys compete last year the way that they did. obviously going out to California, going to USC and winning those games out there. It's going to be a tough division throughout the years. I think it's going to, it's moving towards kind of a layout of the NFL where everybody's playing everywhere and, everybody is recruiting on different sides of the coast. And, I think now it's just, as you stated, it's a recruiting battle. It's all about that. Obviously, the coaching matters as well. But the recruiting is definitely going to be evaluated, and it's going to be, paid attention to very closely. And then lastly, the NIL situation, that's on a whole nother level. That's kind of out of my pay range of trying to understand how that all kind of works out. But I just hope that our young people can get an understanding of competing, understanding that adversity, understanding that, even though you might be on the depth chart, on the second on the depth chart, third on the depth chart, that you can work your way up. There's integrity in that. There's humility in that. There's a way that you can, obviously sharpen your iron, sharpen your craft, learning under folks, working at it, getting better, not necessarily bailing out and say, hey, it's a better situation over here. You don't know how that situation may pan out. I feel for these kids now because, they leave and they get to somewhere and the other coach leaves that brought them there. So now you have to deal with, a system to where a coach, you might want to go to another school and the coach is just like, well, you're hopping all over the place. Yes, it may work out for some certain people. It may work out in people's favor to go somewhere else and they drafting into the league. But that's how many stories is that out of hundreds and hundreds of kids that are transferring back and forth. So I just hope that NCAA can get a hold of this thing to where kids can get more rewarded once they declare to the next level, so to say, or maybe junior or senior year. I just think for kids at a young age, freshman year, sophomore year, for them to be hopping all around, I just feel like it's doing themselves a disservice, and obviously the coaches and the universities, and it's just on another level. With when you start talking monetary wise, it's a whole different discussion.
Yeah, I think there'll be some good ways to improve the sport with some guidelines and regulations. They've been not, changed up entirely because it's already that toothpaste is out of the tube, if you will. But you brought up an interesting, good point, and I think it's what we'll finish up with here, David, that, if you all went to one school, it would have been amazing. But I think that's the one thing that the brotherhood in the 757, that people like yourself that have walked in big shoes, and we see so many different pro athletes that come back and give back. It's important to represent its area on a local, statewide, and even bigger scale, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think we all take a pride in that, coming from the 757, keeping those relationships over the year. But one thing about it that I can say, it has taught us how to work and how to grind. And we've built a certain pedigree in the 757 that, not only stays here in Virginia. Well, in Virginia, I'm in Georgia right now, but moves all around, whether it's nationally or internationally. And it's good to have that camaraderie to where we can all see each other in another area, another state, another country, whatever, and just say, hey, man, we come from somewhere special. And we were able to build something special. We were able to build off the backs of giants like Lonzo Mourning and Ralph Sampson and guys, DJ Dozier, guys who came before us, that were able to set, a tone. So you got people like Boo Williams and God rest his soul, Coach Tommy Raymond, other coaches around the area. My father, Mike Smith over at Hampton that built a legacy. You got Blunt now that's at Phoebus that's building a legacy. Coaches, Coach Kozlowski. I mean, we can go down the list. Coach Breyer over at Hampton. My high school coach, Coach Greg Henderson, Pop Pitts, Ben Moore, Coach Katufis. I mean, you want to start naming names. You got Coach Dwight Robinson over at Lansdowne, to Cadillac. I mean, you got so many coaches, so many people that have impacted young people and impacted lives of great athletes all over the country that, we could sit here for hours and talk about. So it's something to be proud of. And it's up to us as former athletes, current athletes, to carry the torch. And, one way that I like doing that and what I like to stay true to is competing. whether you're competing on the field, whether you're competing in business, whether you're competing in any kind of industry that you're in. Obviously, media is very competitive. That's what we do at Glory Days, and we want to do that and allow people to have fun. But we also want to do it with a purpose. We also want to do it to where not only our kids competing, not only our kids competing, but that we're able to have a give back. And then obviously from that give back, a kid and a coach can say, hey, that kid got better. That kid got better today. So that's all you can hope for.
That's awesome. Well, hey, go check it out. Coming up on June the 21st at the McReynolds Athletic Complex. You don't want to miss it. Yorktown, Virginia, the Glory Days, 3rd annual Summer Days in Virginia 4-on-4 flag football tournament. They've got the social coming up for the coaches. We'll show it back on the screen again here. Get that QR code out, get the phone, and voila, you're right there with all the info in front of your fingertips. $250 per team. Should be a fun atmosphere and a great time out there. And again, if you want to find out more, glorydays4on4.org is the website, and you can get some in touch, in close personal tutoring from the former NFL DB who once took a 60-yard pick to the house for the Arizona Cardinals, played for the Colts and so many other teams, also stand out at Penn State after his days at Menchville High School in Newport News, David Macklin. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, who was the guy you victimized for that 60-yard pick, 60? You remember? Back when, was it 2005?
Yeah, I had a couple of them. I think I don't know. That was in Tennessee. I forgot who that was. I should know that. I should know that. But,
not the late McNair, though. It wasn't Steve McNair. He was gone.
We beat them a few times.
Okay.
But yeah, I wanted to tell the people out there.
Sure.
You can register online, like Matt was saying, www.glorydays4on4.org. That's www.glorydays4on4.org. We will have free merch there at our social Tuesday from 5:45 to 7:45 at Park Lane Tavern there in Hampton, Virginia. And I wanted to tell parents out there, any parent can register a team, whether it's 5 to 7 players. It needs to be 5 to 7 players. We don't need, it doesn't necessarily have to be coaches. 7U up to adults, high school level. You can go online and check it out. And then lastly, come out and be ready to have some fun. We're looking for more women, more girl teams to come out. We want to see our women teams come out there and have a good time. The girls are doing a great job with flags. So we're encouraging young people to come out, girls and boys, and have a good time.
Should be an outstanding one there for the Glory Days, 3rd annual Summer Days in Virginia 4-on-4 flag football tournament. Again, the website to find out more details on how to register, glorydays4on4.org. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm sure we'll be in touch, and have a good one.
Absolutely, Matt. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
You got it. That is the one and only David Macklin, former NFL defensive back and standout for the Penn State Nittany Lions out of Menchville High in Newport News, Virginia, here with us on 757 Sports Talk. We've got more coming your way. Don't touch that dial. You're watching CoVA Sports TV.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better. And it's our mission to get you there, because here you are more. One Life Fitness.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
At Rush Soccer, our love of the game and the community we create doesn't stop when we leave the pitch or when the season ends. We are more than an individual player, team, club, or league. We are a truly global community of athletes, parents, coaches, professionals, and fans. We believe that youth sports and the pathway to a lifelong love of soccer have the power to form deep, meaningful connections that will fundamentally shape our players and those in our community. We believe that what we feel is the key to what we can achieve. Feel the pride. Feel the confidence. Feel the legacy. Feel the connection. Feel the trust. Feel the acceptance. Feel the purpose. Feel the difference. Feel the rush.
At Atomic Wings, we prioritize real chicken with fresh, all-natural, never frozen ingredients, all packed with serious flavor. Order from over 15 awesome flavors at atomicwings.com.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And we welcome you back. It's 757 Saturday Sports Talk with the Coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield. Did you happen to hear that in the background or no? What are you laughing at?
It looked like you just popped up from the trap door again.
Oh, you want to see it again? Here we go. Watch this. Look at this, folks. Woo!
Yes. Please, I think the D-backs need to start winning so you get your mind back. This is some creepy stuff. And then I blame the audience because some of you, Derek and Warren,
they love
Warren,
it.
bringing the pool back, and this joker is hiding underneath the thing.
Warren. You talking about Woody Wagner, our buddy? It is time for Pool Man, they say. We have all
guys encouraging this nut job, and he's sneaking up under the trap door, under the coffee table, in a house that's not his. He sneaks in every time to run it, so it looks like he has the grand baby piano and all this.
Comment, folks, and I'll give you a quick little pool snippet before we sign off today. I've got loads of them for you to last us through the summer. Ah, yes, it is 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on CoVA Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel wherever you may be tuning in. We thank you for doing so on this particular Saturday morning. We've gone through a lot today. Heard from David Macklin, Michael Cuddyer, a couple of former standouts that made the pros. Macklin out of Menchville High in Newport News, Cuddyer out of Great Bridge High in Chesapeake. Go check out those great events. The All-Tidewater Baseball Classic coming up on Monday at War Memorial Stadium in Hampton, and the Glory Days 4-on-4 flag football tournament coming up in Yorktown later this month. But, Ed, it is Horsey Saturday, the last Horsey Saturday part of the Triple Crown, and we've got the two big horses that were winners in the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont. I'm sorry, Kentucky Derby and the Preakness that are now racing in the Belmont today. One did not race and might get booed unmercifully, and you know which one I'm talking about with that one. That, of course, Journalism won the Preakness, but the one that won the Derby was Sovereignty. Saratoga is the setting, not Belmont Park. We'll see if that makeup has any kind of difference or factor in this. But I've got a win pick, a place pick, and a show pick. An exacta for all of you out there, a superfecta, a trifecta, win, place, show. Would you like to go first or let me go first? Have you done your homework on the Hussies for this race?
I have looked at it. I've read a little bit of some of the feeling about the track, and so it looks like it's going to be rain. That could make a big difference. Supposedly, this is the track where rain lets long shots have a shot, a legit shot.
What are you saying?
But go ahead. You, I think, have outdone me in both the Derby and the Preakness.
All right, so here's what we got. We like Rodriguez a whole heck of a lot in this race. He missed the last two big races due to the foot trouble. Won a couple months ago in the War Memorial at Aqueduct. Bob Baffert's horse. It can win this. You obviously have journalism. You have sovereignty. You have a couple long shots like Uncaged and Heart of Honor that you'll see scrolling across our ticker with the up to the minute odds on those. But I'm going to go with, for third place, I am going to pick Sovereignty. I think Sovereignty will finish in third at 2-1. That's the number 2 horse. That's going to be the show horse. The place horse will be Rodriguez. We're there right with it, neck and neck, at 6-1 to win this race. You think until the very end, when coming out of nowhere, it's not journalism. It's going to be the number 6 horse, and that horse is Baeza. I love Baeza in this one to get it done. As you put your hands up, it's a hard-charging horse. It finished third at Derby. 2 speed horses out front will allow it to set the pace and chase here. So to recap it, as we show it to you one more time, I'll tell it to you one more time. Your win place show trifecta. You want to go with 6, 3, 2. That's Baeza, Rodriguez, and Sovereignty to get it done on the eve of NBA Finals game number 2 when the Pacers stun the Thunder again. Go ahead. You're up now for your win place show. And by the way, if you want to go trifecta real quick, the 4th horse, I do think the 4th horse will be journalism at 7. So if you want to go with the superfecta and make a lot of shekels here, you can do so with a superfecta of 6, 3, 2, 7. Those are your lucky numbers. Get you your lucky number ticket for your Whopper Chopper. You ever watch that with Sanford's son, the Whopper Chopper?
Yeah, that was one of the best.
Yeah, it was awesome. So, your lucky number ticket for the Whopper Chopper. Oh, yeah. That might have been the lucky number ticket contest episode. It might have been a different episode. But anyways, go ahead. The floor is yours now.
Well, you stole my thunder. I didn't think you knew anything about Baeza. You could call it Baeza.
Baeza.
Okay. That was going to be my horse. Pick the win, but you already took it. So if I pick it now, copycat young. I will go with Sovereignty, number 2 horse. I'm gonna move 7 journalism to 2, and I'll go with Baeza, number 6 at 3. But if it's a bad track, watch this. Give me Crudo to come out of nowhere in the mud. Crudo, 15-1.
I just love how you have like 15 different combinations. If this happens, if this happens, you know, if this horse goes faster than the other horse, then it can win.
Well, you know, Mr. Hatfield, if, you know, the combo guards do what they're supposed to do, then we win. If they don't, we don't.
Okay. Walcott, our buddy, I think it's Bill Walcott on Instagram, has been asking me all morning, has the VHSAA, I think he means the Virginia High School, they released their 2025 schedule yet? No, they haven't for football. So they'll probably come out in early July. But here's what we will do for you, Bill, and others out there that want to check out the show. If you hit us up on the comments and you want a particular team schedule, we'll try to get to you on the show right at our fingertips if we have it. Or we'll get it to you in a future episode. And we'll try to unveil some as we have them on the ticker as we get closer and closer to August. We'll be counting down pretty soon, probably after we get done with basketball. Our 2 events with the VA Live showcases up in Springfield and in Richmond. Ed and I will probably start giving you a bunch of football coaches through July into August. And we will give you probably tons and tons of them. And they might even come on our show during the weeks. We might get them on, you know, because their practice schedules being so zany. We might not get them on like we did that big jumbo show when I had to go to a scrimmage last summer up in Richmond at Highland Springs. So we will sprinkle in whether they're new coaches or returning coaches to give you a little thumbnail on their teams because people can never get enough high school football.
And as an added bonus, when Matt gives you the schedule, I will tell you their record.
Oh yeah, he loves doing that to make people mad. You become bulletin board material in these locker rooms. A matter of fact, who was it last year? Somebody said, "You tell that Coach Young we're going to be better than 7-3 or something." I was like, I didn't remember you doing that. So We do have more.
Probably did.
Yeah, well, you may have, you may haven't. I don't know. We have more clips coming too. We didn't have time for one today. Jaden Koval, Oscar Smith, Trayvon Litton, Deep Creek, Cam Johnson, Green Run, Elijah Moss, Maury, DeAndre Artis Boone, Kings Fork. I know a commitment's coming in July for the Oscar Smith standout wide receiver and Travis Johnson. Oh, by the way, Nance River quarterback Tyrell Grant being another one. So you'll hear from all these different individuals as we get closer and closer to the start of high school football season. Oh, by the way, Tyrell Grant just picked up an offer this week from Syracuse out of the ACC. He's mostly getting military, Navy, Army, Ivy League attention. So we might play that for you next week with Tyrell Grant. So I know we skipped that with time purposes today. But Ed, it was fun. Our first one on the television side, but always here on CoVA Sports TV, where we are streaming all through YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X as they call it, Facebook, LinkedIn, and so many other platforms, VirginiaPreps.com too. Enjoy the rest of your sports weekend, my friend, and it'll be Father's Day next week. So you know what that means, of course.
Yes. Get your father a good gift instead of buying underwear. Get your dad a good gift instead of buying.
If you keep breaking up in my headset. Something about underwear. Don't get my dad underwear. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to take him out, I'm sure. But we will have Fact or Fiction coming your way. We probably do it at the end of the show, but we may see if we'll slide it in for the folks to watch on TV because we love some Fact or Fiction. That's going to do it. We thank you all for tuning in, and we will talk to you next time here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk, powered by CoVA Sports TV. Have a great one, everyone. We'll see you later, alligators.